Your brother is way hotter than you, and you never satisfied me. That's why I want a divorce.
She was lying in bed with his own brother when she said the words that would haunt him forever. Alex is pathetic in bed. He can't last, he can't satisfy me, he's weak, you're the real man I needed all along. Her husband stood in the doorway, frozen like a statue, watching his whole world crash down. Tears poured down his face as he saw his wife and his brother together on the bed he paid for, in the house he worked for, destroying the life he built for her. She had no idea this moment would come back to destroy her in ways she never imagined. Before we dive in, what would you do if you caught your spouse with your own family members saying terrible things about you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love stories of justice and karma, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss these incredible tales. This is the story of Alex and Sarah. They met at a college party on a warm summer night 7 years ago. Alex was the quiet guy in the corner, and Sarah was the girl everyone noticed. They started talking about music and dreams, and by the end of the night, they'd exchanged numbers. 3 years of coffee dates, late-night talks, and stolen kisses later, Alex got down on one knee at the same park where they had their first real date. She said yes with tears in her eyes. Their wedding was small but beautiful, filled with friends and family who believed they were meant to be. But life after marriage wasn't a fairy tale. Alex worked as a software engineer at a tech company that sucked the life out of him. He came home every night looking like a ghost, tired eyes, heavy shoulders, barely able to smile. He drove an old beat-up Honda and they lived in a tiny apartment with thin walls and a leaky faucet. Sarah worked as a graphic designer, but over time, something changed in her. She started wanting more: designer handbags, fancy restaurants, trips to places she saw on Instagram. She'd scroll through her phone for hours, then look at Alex with disappointment in her eyes. "Why can't we live like them?" she'd ask. "Why are we stuck in this boring life?" Alex would just hug her and promise things would get better. He worked late nights, skipped meals, pushed himself to the edge, all hoping to build them a future. But Sarah didn't see sacrifice. She only saw a tired, weak man who couldn't give her what she wanted. What she didn't know was that behind Alex's exhausted face was a secret so huge it would change everything. What she said next would change everything. "Stay with me because the twist coming will shock you." The betrayal didn't happen overnight. It grew like poison spreading slowly through their marriage. Sarah's complaints got louder. Alex's work trips got longer. The space between them in bed got wider. She'd yell at him, "You don't understand me. You're never here. You don't give me what I need." At first, Alex just took it. He swallowed the pain, buried the hurt, and kept working harder. But inside, those words were cutting him into pieces. Then Mike showed up more often. Mike was Alex's younger brother, the fun one, the charming one, the one who always had a joke and a smile. He was a personal trainer at a local gym, with muscles and confidence that Alex didn't have. Mike started coming over when Alex was away on work trips. "Just checking on Sarah," he'd say, "making sure she's okay." At first it was innocent. They'd watch movies, share pizza, talk about life. But then the talks got deeper. The touches got longer. The looks got more intense. Mike would compliment her in ways Alex forgot to. He made her laugh when Alex made her cry. He made her feel beautiful when Alex made her feel invisible. One cold rainy Tuesday night, Alex's work conference ended early. He drove home through the storm, exhausted but excited to surprise Sarah. When he pulled up to their apartment, he noticed the lights were dim. The door was unlocked, which was weird because Sarah always locked it. He pushed it open slowly, quietly, holding flowers he'd bought from a gas station. That's when he heard them. Her voice, soft and intimate, coming from their bedroom. Mike's deep laugh in response. Alex's heart started pounding so hard he thought it would explode. He walked down the hallway like he was walking toward his own execution. He peeked through the crack in the door, and what he saw made his stomach drop. Sarah was on their bed, wearing the nightgown he'd bought her for their anniversary. She was curled up against Mike, her head on his bare chest, her fingers tracing circles on his skin. And then she started talking, and every word was a knife. "Alex is such a disappointment," she said, and her voice was filled with disgust. In bed, he's useless. He finishes in minutes. He doesn't know how to touch me. He doesn't make me feel anything. Mike pulled her closer, grinning like he'd won a prize. Sarah kept going, her words getting meaner and meaner. I've never been satisfied with him, not once. He's too tired, too weak, too boring. He thinks a quick kiss goodnight is romance. He has no idea what a woman needs. Then she said the worst part. You know what the saddest part is? He thinks he's man enough for me. He's not. He never was. You're what I've been missing. You're strong, you're confident, you actually know how to make me feel like a woman. Alex stood there in the darkness, tears streaming down his face, his whole body shaking. He wanted to scream. He wanted to run in and fight. But he couldn't move. The shock had paralyzed him. His own brother. His own wife. In his own bed. Destroying everything he'd worked for, everything he'd loved. He backed away slowly, left the flowers on the kitchen counter, and walked out into the rain. Sarah thought Alex was just a weak, boring husband who couldn't satisfy her. She thought Mike was her escape, her upgrade, her chance at a better life. She had no idea what was coming. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Little did she know, the truth was about to destroy her. Here's the thing Sarah never knew. Alex wasn't just some tired software engineer barely making ends meet. That was just a cover, a mask he wore to hide the truth. In reality, Alex was worth $14 million. Yes, you heard that right. $14 million. He owned 7 successful online businesses that ran themselves. He had 9 luxury properties across the country that brought in $180,000 every single month. He'd built this empire starting from a simple app he created in college that sold for $2 million. He took that money and invested it carefully, stocks, real estate, startups, and watched it grow year after year. But he never told anyone. He kept driving his old car, kept living in that small apartment, kept working that regular job. Because he'd been burned before. In his early 20s, he dated a girl who only wanted him for his money. When she found out he was rich, she changed completely, and the relationship became fake and shallow. So when he met Sarah, he decided to hide it all. He wanted to know if she loved him, not for his bank account. He wanted a real connection, a real marriage. The sad, cruel irony? While Sarah was calling him weak and pathetic, while she was mocking his inability to satisfy her, while she was running to his brother for excitement, Alex could have given her every single thing she dreamed of. Designer bags? He could buy her 100. Fancy vacations? He owned a beach house in Miami and a cabin in Aspen. The luxurious life she craved? It was sitting right there, hidden behind the man she was betraying. If you love stories of justice and karma, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss these incredible tales. Alex didn't explode that night. He didn't burst into the room screaming. He didn't punch his brother or drag Sarah out by her hair. Alex was smarter than that. He drove to his real office, a penthouse suite downtown that Sarah had never seen, and he sat in his leather chair overlooking the city lights. Then he made one phone call. Emily, it's Alex. I need you. Emily was the best divorce lawyer in the state, someone who'd helped Alex protect his assets when he'd first gotten married. She arrived within an hour, sharp as ever. What happened? She asked. Alex told her everything, his voice cold and steady. Emily smiled, the kind of smile a shark makes before it attacks. We're going to bury her, she said simply. Over the next 7 months, Alex played the part perfectly. He acted sad and confused around family. He pretended to try to save the marriage. Meanwhile, Emily was working behind the scenes like a master chess player. She hired private investigators who took photos and videos of Sarah and Mike together, kissing in parking lots, holding hands at restaurants, sneaking into hotels. She gathered financial records showing that Alex had kept everything separate. She interviewed neighbors while all this was happening and going. Sarah and Mike were living their best so life, strong that or Sarah so wouldn't get a Sarah started openly talking about divorce. She told her friends she was leaving her boring, broke husband for someone better. She and Mike went to family gatherings together, acting like a couple, not even trying to hide it anymore. Mike bragged to his gym buddies about stealing Alex's wife. They even started looking at wedding venues, planning a future together. Sarah had no idea she was walking into a trap. You won't believe what happened next. The bomb dropped at the annual family reunion. It was a huge event. Both sides of the family, over 100 people, held at Alex and Mike's parents' big house with a beautiful backyard. There were tables of food, music playing, kids running around. Sarah showed up holding Mike's hand, wearing a tight red dress, laughing loud enough for everyone to hear. She wanted people to see them together. She wanted to show off her upgrade. Alex arrived late, and when he did, people noticed something different. He wasn't wearing his usual tired look. He was dressed in an expensive tailored suit that fit him perfectly. His hair was freshly cut. His eyes were sharp and focused. He looked like a completely different person. During dinner, the family gathered around for speeches and toasts. Alex's dad handed him the microphone for a few words. Sarah rolled her eyes, expecting another boring speech. But what came out of Alex's mouth made everyone freeze. "I want to thank everyone for coming," Alex started calmly. "Family means everything to me. Loyalty means everything to me. So it breaks my heart when family betrays you." The crowd got quiet. Sarah's smile faded. "Sarah, you've spent months telling everyone I'm weak. That I'm boring. That I can't give you what you need. You've said I'm not man enough, not rich enough, not exciting enough. You chose my own brother over me." People gasped. Sarah's face went red. Mike looked down at his plate. "But here's what you didn't know," Alex continued, and now his voice got stronger. "I'm worth $14 million. I own 9 properties. I run 7 businesses. I make over $2 million every single year." The backyard exploded with shock. People started whispering, mouths hanging open. Sarah stood up, shaking her head. "That's impossible. You're lying. You're just a broke engineer." But Emily appeared from the crowd, walking up with a tablet in her hands. She connected it to a big screen they'd set up for photos. Suddenly, bank statements appeared. Property deeds. Business licenses. Tax returns. Everything official, everything verified, everything real. The numbers were right there for everyone to see. Millions of dollars. Multiple properties. Businesses making serious money. Sarah's face went from red to white. Her hands started shaking. Her eyes got wide as the reality hit her like a truck. Relatives started laughing in disbelief. Her own friends who came to the party looked at her like she was the biggest fool on earth. Alex's mom started crying. His dad looked at Mike with pure disappointment. Mike tried to slip away, but people blocked his path, staring at him with disgust. "You threw away millions," someone whispered loud enough for Sarah to hear. "For a gym trainer." Sarah tried to speak, tried to deny it, but the proof was right there on the screen. Emily spoke up, her voice cutting through the chaos. "We also have evidence of the affair. Photos, videos, witness statements. Sarah will be getting nothing in the divorce. $0. Zero property. Nothing." The crowd's reaction was a mix of shock, laughter, and pure disbelief. Some people actually clapped. Sarah's world was crumbling in front of 100 people, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. Just when she thought it couldn't get worse. If you love stories of justice and karma, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss these incredible tales. After the reunion, after the humiliation, after everyone left talking about what they'd witnessed, Sarah waited by Alex's car in the dark parking lot. Her makeup was running from crying. Her red dress looked ridiculous now. When Alex walked up, she grabbed his arm desperately. "Alex, please, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I made a horrible mistake. We can fix this. I still love you. I'll leave Mike right now, I swear. Please give me another chance." Her voice was shaking, broken, full of panic. Alex looked at her the way you'd look at a stranger. Cold. Distant. "Done. You called me weak, Sarah. You said I couldn't satisfy you. You said I wasn't a real man. You mocked me to my own brother while sleeping in my bed. And now that you see the money, suddenly you love me again." He pulled his arm away from her grip. "It's over. You made your choice. Now live with it." Sarah dropped to her knees in the parking lot, begging, crying, promising anything and everything. But Alex just got in his car and drove away, leaving her there in the darkness. Would you stay silent or confront them? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What happened next was total destruction for Sarah. The divorce was fast and brutal. With all the evidence Emily had, Sarah got absolutely nothing. No money from the settlement. No claim to any property. Not even alimony. The judge looked at the affair evidence and basically threw her out of court. She had to move out of their apartment into a tiny studio in a bad part of town, with roaches and thin walls where she could hear her neighbors fighting. Her graphic design job let her go after the scandal went public. Turns out sleeping with your husband's brother while bragging about it doesn't look good for a company's image. She ended up working 2 jobs, waitressing during the day and bartending at night, just to pay rent and buy food. Her friends disappeared like ghosts. The ones who'd encouraged her to follow her heart suddenly stopped answering her calls. Social media turned against her. People she barely knew left mean comments on her posts. She had to delete everything. He dumped her 2 weeks after the reunion. Turns out he wasn't interested in a broke, homeless Sarah. He wanted the thrill of stealing his brother's wife, not the responsibility of actually taking care of her. The family completely cut him off too. He lost his job at the gym after the owners heard what he did. Last anyone heard, he'd moved to another state to escape the shame. Meanwhile, Alex's life became everything he'd always wanted. He sold 2 of his businesses for $4 million profit. He bought a gorgeous house in the hills with a pool and a view of the whole city. He started dating a woman named Jessica, a kind teacher who loved him for his heart, not his wallet. He didn't even tell her about the money for 6 months, and when he finally did, she just hugged him and said, "I already knew you were rich where it matters, in here," pointing to his heart. His family surrounded him with love and support. He started a program helping young people learn coding and business, giving back to the community. He traveled to places he'd always dreamed of. He smiled again, really smiled, for the first time in years. The difference between their lives was like night and day. Alex rose from the ashes like a phoenix, stronger and happier than ever. Sarah crashed and burned, living in the ruins of her own terrible choices. What happened when they met will leave you speechless. 6 months after the divorce, they ran into each other at a grocery store. Alex was in the nice part of town, buying expensive steaks and wine for a dinner party. Sarah was in the discount section, counting change for instant noodles. She saw him first and froze. He looked amazing, healthy, glowing, confident. She looked tired, worn down, defeated. Their eyes met across the aisle. Sarah opened her mouth to say something, maybe to apologize again, maybe to beg one more time. But Alex just gave her a small nod, the kind you'd give a stranger, and walked away. She stood there watching him leave, tears running down her face, knowing she'd destroyed the best thing she ever had. This story teaches us something powerful. You never really know what someone is worth until you've thrown them away. Real strength isn't loud or showy, it's quiet and steady. And karma? Karma never forgets an address. It always delivers, sometimes in ways more brutal than you ever imagined. As the old saying goes, what you do in the dark will always come to light, and what you plant, you will harvest. Sarah planted betrayal and cruelty, and she harvested loneliness and regret. If you were in their position, what would you do? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you love stories of justice and karma, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss these incredible tales. Smash that like button, turn on those notifications, and share your own revenge stories in the comments section. We read every single one, and some of them might be featured in future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next story where betrayal meets justice and karma comes knocking. Remember, treat people right because you never know who you're really dealing with.